Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV of Frederick, Colorado. My name is Michaela. This morning we're going through a brand new 2025 Logan Coach Crossfire 3-horse gooseneck. This one hit the lot about a week ago, I'd say. Has been quality controlled through our shop, so this one is ready to go. It's still available. Guys, feel free to reach out if this one is at any interest to you. My cell phone is 303-918-6367. But let's go ahead and get to this trailer here in person. So this one here, as I mentioned, is one of their Crossfire models, but this is one of their newer Crossfire models. So one of the big differences between this or any of these newer Crossfires and their previous Crossfires is going to be this tack room door right here. You guys will notice that it does have these square corners, and it is a very heavy duty material. There's not going to be any flex or any play in this guy. So the previous Crossfire models had rounded corners, top and bottom, and it was a prefabricated door, so there was some play in it. One of the big complaints was driving down the road, you had to make sure you locked that deadbolt. It would constantly pop open. There was just so much play. It wasn't a flush, secure closure. So this one is an upgraded heavy duty door right here. I really love that they've changed this on their Crossfires moving forward, and that the holdback is located up high right here, and then it clips all the way up here. And I like that because when it does clip open, it's almost flat up against the nose of your trailer, where typically it's a mount that's down here and down here, which makes it set out at more of an angle. I like that this is right here because now there's a lot less chance of the wind grabbing your door and breaking that hold back and blowing your door closed. So love that angle right there, and the fact that they've upgraded their door. You're still going to get your sliding bus window in your door though, and I like that just for ventilation purposes. Get some air moving through your trailer, especially if you're driving home from a gymkhana, a jackpot, a horse show, a trail ride, anything that you've used your equipment, you've put it back in here a little bit wet, and you just want to give it the opportunity to dry out as you're driving home. That bus window is great for that. And then over here we have everything that swings out right here. So this is going to be different from your bullseyes and your riots. This is their Crossfire setup. This is going to have your saddles and your blankets all on this same swing out right here. So there's not a separate post for your blankets. It's not that separate blanket bar on your door like in your bullseyes and your riots. Your Crossfire is going to be located directly below your saddle. And in my barn that I had prior to where I live now, I actually had this same rack right here, this thing, but it was made from Schneider's, and I had that mounted in my tack room on the walls in there, and it was all one piece just like that. And I loved how that worked. I loved that the saddles were right with their pads right there. So I like that it's carried over to your horse trailer here, because you think if you're tying up on your tie rings right here, you unsaddle after a long ride, your saddle and your pad are always going to come together. I try it with all my might to keep that saddle pad up there and pull off just my saddle, but they always come together. So now you've got both in your hands. You're not trying to get to two separate locations. You're not trying to get in your tack room with all of that equipment. It's just going right here at the same spot. So I think it's nice that they've located all that together, and it's very solid, and it does swing out outside of your tack room right here. So super easy access. And then we'll go ahead and step in the rest of our tack room here. As you guys step in, you're gonna notice the flooring. Flooring is their marine grade carpet. So it's very shallow. It's not gonna be as thick. It's not like shag carpet or anything like that. So if you do get your dirt and your shavings in here, it's not gonna get way down in there. It's more gonna set up on top. So it would be easy to vacuum this out, potentially sweep it up, but also if I can get my fingers under there, this carpet piece is removable. It's not glued down. It's got a bit of aluminum shavings under there, but all this whole piece can come out, and it's got the wood floor underneath that's sprayed in Vortex lining, which has that protectant material over it. So if you guys wanted to use this as their floor, I've heard a lot of customers that have done that. But also if you do use your carpet and you just want to take it out, spring cleaning, power wash it off, let it dry, and throw it back in, you guys can do that as well. On our drop wall and up into our deck, we have that same carpeting. Gives it a nice finished look up here. And if you ever did have to spend a night up in here, I've done it in my personal trailer, it makes it a little bit more comfortable. I think it's also nice because it adds a little bit of a grip factor for the stuff that you do store up in here. I've got a lot of extra winter blankets up here, all kinds of extra gear that I don't use every day kind of gets shoved up in here. The carpet also just protects your trailer and the equipment as well. And then you're gonna have those sliding bus windows on each side. Those are those bigger oversized ones. So again, if you did need to spend a night in here, you guys can slide those open and get some good cross breeze and ventilation going through here. But also if you're just spring cleaning your trailer and you wanna air it out for a day, you guys can open those. Nice to have that option to get some air, or not if you don't want it. And then moving way back across, we have our short wall right here. Nothing really right here, though it is great because it is a good distance right here. You could easily add some more like Rubbermaid storage tubs or something like that if you needed extra floor space. And then over on your partition wall, we've got a row of bridle hooks located up high here. So plenty of hanging space down below for all of your reins that do tend to hang a little bit lower than everything else. And then we do have our same marine grade carpeting behind our bridle hooks. So over here, what that's doing for you is it's also protecting your trailer and equipment. Same with kind of over there in the nose. But now what it's also doing is keeping it a lot quieter for your horses that ride on the other side of this wall. You think if you've got your bridles hanging right here, you've got some snaps, conchos, bits, those metal pieces that would typically be banging on this if it were just that aluminum material. This is just going to absorb a lot of that noise and keep it quieter for your horses. And then of course protects that equipment that hangs there as well. Down below we have that black Vortex lining we saw on our floor. We're going to see this kind of throughout these Logan coach trailers. We'll see it in our stall area as well. But down here, what it's nice for is protecting your trailer down low. If you were to store what I mentioned over there, Rubbermaid tubs, I've got one of those big Home Depot like rolling tack trunks. I don't think they actually made it for tack. It was probably for actual like Home Depot purposes, but I've had that for 15 plus years now. And I've got that in my horse trailer. So I think this is a really good spot for that. And then that protected material right there just protects your trailer if it were to kind of slide around and bang up against that wall right there. And these guys will swing back in kind of to that corner right there. We don't have, back in that corner on our Crossfire models, we don't have that water tank standard included in this. It's more when you step up into those bullseyes and riots. Though looking in this trailer, there is enough space if you guys did want to add one. I think there's a good footprint right there for it. Now coming back to tail side right here on our Crossfire models, we're just going to have this stock side over their hips. So your bullseyes and your riots, you guys will have the sliding bus windows or full drops on hip side. Crossfires, you're going to get this stock side. Does have plexiglass in there right now. So approaching wintertime, nice to be able to keep it closed up. And I hate that I'm saying approaching wintertime already. Gives me the chills. But if we were springtime, middle of summer, you wanted that open air gap, you can remove that. You're just going to come right back here to this very end metal trim piece, get you a screw gun, pull that piece off. You can slide your plexi out, go store it either up in your tack room, in your garage at home, and then throw that trim piece back on there. But you guys can open that up. So you have the ability to get some airflow on tail side right here. Down below, we've got 3 tie rings. So you have your 3 tie rings. Being a 3-horse slant load model, you'll have them each side. I like the versatility aspect of allowing the 3 per side so that you do have the option to tie on this side, which is where your tack room is. But if you were to get somewhere, one of those trailheads, you know, they have the big boulders there, you end up having to park too close to somebody, your horses don't get along, you guys can tie on the other side as well. Gives it some versatility right there. And then this one's gonna be standard size. So we are 7 feet tall, and then we're 6'10" wide or 6'9" wide, which means you have your full wheel well outside of this trailer. And then we're gonna have steel wheels under this one. That's gonna be, again, on your Crossfires. You'll see the aluminum wheel upgrade option as you step into your bullseyes and your riots. Steel wheel, though, are good, just a nice solid wheel under this trailer. And then we do not have your full length running boards on this one. Keep that in mind, guys. That's, again, gonna be in your bullseyes and your riots, not on your Crossfires. Also, what you guys will notice is missing on our Crossfires is the aluminum extrusion that's on the side. We'll see that in those step-up models as well. What that's gonna do for your Crossfire here is it's actually gonna make it a little bit lighter weight. Not having that full extrusion right there So I've got a lot of customers that are running in our bumper pull Crossfire models. They're running maybe the smaller Suburbans, and then even into our gooseneck models, some customers running like half-ton trucks. They're really looking for the lightweight trailers to get to the trailheads, to work as just a park at home evacuation trailer, to get to your farrier, or to get to those trailheads. They want something that's not as heavy. This is going to be it in your Crossfire right here. We'll go ahead and step around to the back. Get around our double doors right here. Both of these are just going to open nice and wide. Gives your horses a lot of confidence stepping in when you can just fully open up this back end like this. They are going to be a step up. Again, that's going to be standard, though we can order a ramp from Logan and add a ramp here at Transwest. That is something we can do in our shop. If you guys are looking for the ramp versus the step up, pull up our rubber mats right here and show you guys the floor on these Crossfires. So these are wood planks. You guys will notice on the top side, they are sprayed with that same Vortex lining. I've mentioned it a couple times. I'll say it a couple more today. This is sprayed throughout our Logans. It is something that they spray over their entire frame as well. Anything that would be exposed. We've seen it in the tack room. We'll see it on our rear doors and throughout our stall area. What it's doing for you on top of your wood floor is, again, a protectant coating. Here, it's protecting from the urine. So anything that would soak through your rubber mats and get down, or soak through the seams of your rubber mats and get down to your floor, this is just going to allow that urine to just slide right off versus sit here and soak into the wood. Helps your wood floors last a lot longer. And then inside we've got the Vortex lining around our walls. Protect it for your horses, protect it for your trailer. And I'm going to say it again because I really think it's such a cool video. Guys, please get to either my socials because I've shared it, or Logan Coach socials, and check out what this spray does. They take a pop can, they step on it and they squish it, it goes flat. They take a pop can, they spray it in Vortex lining, they step on it and nothing happens. So it adds a lot of structural integrity to your trailer. It's going to do the same here for you guys in your stall area, as well as around that framework that they've sprayed. In our Crossfire models, we've got partial dividers, no stud walls. They're still padded. I love the padded feature, especially here in Colorado. We've got a lot of windy roads, got a lot of traffic, and we've got a lot of potholes. So anything where you're not just at a consistent, smooth pace, your horses are bouncing off these dividers, it's got that padding for you. But these ones are solid. They do not telescope, so you're not going to be able to clip them wide open with these doors closed. Just keep that in mind, you guys. If you don't plan on doing that, not going to be an issue for you. You guys will see it does still swing all the way open, so you're still going to be able to get your horses in and out without any sort of interference right there. And same with our front one, also a partial padded solid type. And then as you guys can see, we have that Vortex lining carried throughout the entire trailer right here. Each stall is going to have a two-way roof vent up high. These are going to work two different directions. They're going to pop open forwards to be drawing the air in, and then they'll pop open backwards and be able to draw that air out. Gets you guys a really good airflow through over their backs right here. And then also each stall is going to have 3 D-rings for a corner feeder. So all 3 of your stalls will have this option to mount your corner feeder. It is a standard size. You get it at any ranch supply store. You can get it online as well. And then each stall is also going to have 1 tie ring. If you guys wanted to just hang your trailer tie right there, tie your horse, hang a hay net or a hay bag, something our shop at Transwest can also do is install additional tie rings. I'll leave that up to my techs to tell me where the framework is and where one would fit best in here. But no, that's an option here as well. If you guys are looking for just a couple tweaks to a trailer, our service department is phenomenal with those upgrades. I know I've had a customer on a 3-horse or 4-horse bullseye model that went ahead and added hanging rubber mat to make all of these stud walls. They did it on every single divider. Our shop can do that as well. They did a really phenomenal job of adding some aluminum trim and then hanging that really thick rubber mat down below. So you guys are looking for that upgrade, we can do that as well. Then we'll step out and continue our way around to the head side. I want to show you guys one more big difference from those older Crossfire models to these new ones. If you guys are shopping Crossfires right now, keep these in mind when you are looking, because there's still some of those older models that are still being sold as new. They haven't sold yet. As these new ones transition in, So when you are comparing those, keep in mind and take a look at your tack room door and then these drop down windows on head side. So same thing over here. These are gonna have square corners and they're gonna be super heavy duty solid. There's no flex in these at all. They're a really, really solid window. On your previous Crossfire models, that tack room door and these drop down windows were more of a plastic, prefabricated material. So now these are heavy duty and they're built specific for each trailer. You're still gonna have your jail bars that drop down, a little bit different style than those Bullseyes and Riots, but still have that feature, which is great. If you did need to get in there, access your horses, add some hay to that quarter feeder, untie them before you back them out, you guys can still get in there and do that. Let them stretch their heads out if you're on a long haul, fueling up at the truck stop. Those close back in. These windows will pop into place down there so you can drive with these open. They're not gonna catch the breeze and fly around and do the wave as you pass semis going down the road or they pass you, either way. They're gonna secure really well, get you guys that ventilation moving through here. So I really like this upgrade. This is a great step up from those previous models. You still have that sliding bus window built in if you wanted a little bit less ventilation. And then this latch mechanism right here, Logan's done a great job of saying, hey, most people probably can't reach this way up here. What can we do to make it more accessible? They've added this bar. So same as this window, this latch would work. This latch pulls straight down. That's what you're gonna do with this bar. You're just gonna pull it straight down. That's what unlocks it. So a lot of people will walk up and they'll try and pull it straight out. That's not what this does. Pull it straight down and that will release it for you. Other than that, kind of the same over here as well. We don't have that aluminum extrusion on the sides. That's gonna be a big difference. But again, it keeps your trailer a little bit more lightweight. We don't have our full length running board, but less things to get in the way there, road debris, right? This one's gonna be white sheeted. And up front, you're gonna have your standard manual crank jack. That is another thing that our service department can do here at Transwest if you're looking for that electric jack. I know my trailer came in on trade with a manual crank and I said, hey, I want to buy that one, but before I take it home, it's getting the electric jack. It's a lifesaver if you're in a pinch, you're in an emergency situation, you got to get somewhere fast. It's nice to be able to push a button and have this go up and down. The cranks do work really well though. I've had a lot of people ask. They've been around older trailers and they are hard to crank. These guys, they do work really well. They're not super heavy, so you can crank them up pretty fast. Same black Vortex lining up here, sprayed. It's the protectant coating. It's protecting up here as well. It's just protecting from more of your gravel, rocks, road debris, and salt spray from the roads. Full size matching spare tire over here. And then we've got our 7-pin right here. So your 7-pin, you will have to plug this into your tow vehicle in order to run all the lights in this trailer. You've got lights in your tack room, exterior and stall area. You cannot run those without power. So right now you have to be plugged into your 7-pin. If you do upgrade to that electric jack, it comes with a battery and a battery box. That will give you the option to run all of your lights off of that battery and not have to be plugged into a tow vehicle. So I did really like that because I have now unhooked my truck and I've parked it in my shop at home, mostly to try and keep the mice from getting up in my engine bay and eating my batteries. But it's nice that now my trailer is just standing alone outside, disconnected. I can still run all my lights when I get home late from work and take care of my horses. I can do it off that battery. Again though, this is your brand new 2025 Logan Coach Crossfire. Brand new, you're getting full years, 8-year structure and 2-year hitch to bumper. It is still available. We do have these guys and those Bullseye models as well if you want to compare specs. If you have any questions on this one, you want to take this one off the market, your stock number is 5N250910. You guys are walking the lot, you guys can scan these QR codes. It will pull up the full photo gallery. You can also access that online by referencing that stock number. But thank you guys for tuning in. I would love to help you out. Feel free to reach out. That number is 303-918-6367. We'll see you next week.